The member for Stirling.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Last week I joined my colleague and fellow veteran, the member for Canning, at the official launch of the Recovery and Restoration Transition Centre in Jarrahdale in the electorate of Canning in Western Australia. The Governor of WA and the patron of the centre, His Excellency the Honourable Kim Beazley AC, spoke eloquently and passionately as he officially launched the centre. Having joined the advisory board of the R&R Transition Centre a couple of years ago, this was a proud moment for me personally. Not for any selfish reason, but because this important initiative has now officially moved from being an outstanding idea to being an operating entity which helps veterans in their transition to civilian life. This initiative is one of the most practical ways in which we can meet our responsibility to look after those who have worn the uniform of the Australian Defence Forces on our behalf. We often say that the first priority of government is to keep our citizens safe. Having served as an infantry officer and later as a reservist attached to the Special Air Service Regiment and being married to a veteran, my family and I well understand this priority. The motto of the R&R Transition Centre is Family, Unity, Purpose. These are the principles which are driving the veterans running the centre to support their mates in transition. The vision of the centre is to be the primary point of contact for WA-based military personnel transitioning back into civilian life, to provide a proactive and preventative approach to the well-being of ex and current Defence members, and to do so by providing a safe environment where we can work with other support organisations to deliver on their essential modes of assistance. Ex-service people have an enormous amount to offer. However, adjusting from a long military career to living and working in civilian life can be challenging on the individuals and their families. The R&R Transition Centre is a place where veterans and professionals look after veterans and their families, embodying the fine ethos of service for those who have served. The centre has now begun scheduling short courses, including this month, where the Younger Heroes will conduct a camp for veterans and their children to spend time together in a beautiful bush setting. As well as the Younger Heroes, other partner organisations include the RSL, the SAS Resources Fund, Men's Shed WA, Executive Risk Solutions and others. Open Arms are also in advanced discussions about how their important services can be delivered on site. Future services will include counselling and vocational training. The centre itself is being careful not to reinvent the wheel where there are already other organisations providing services to veterans. Rather, the centre provides an ideal environment to host the services provided by partnering organisations. Whilst the vast majority of ex-defence personnel transition as fit, healthy and value-adding members of society, it's now well publicised that some do struggle. In the worst circumstances, this can lead to conditions including anxiety and depression and even suicide. The centre adopts a preventative approach, supporting veterans in their transition by providing a setting where there are mates and service providers on hand who understand their unique circumstances. Our government has shown that we are serious about this issue, and I'm personally grateful that my experience in this area has already been utilised by the Prime Minister, along with the growing number of other veterans who've chosen to serve in Parliament. In the last sitting period, the Prime Minister convened a group of ministers, the Chief of Defence Force, department leaders and veterans who are now MPs in a workshop that lasted for 4 hours, a significant block of time for a Prime Minister and senior ministers. Minister Chester and I are also meeting again later this week to continue our discussions on a series of matters, including the future of the R&R Transition Centre. I also relish my role as Secretary for the Coalition's Defence and Veterans Policy Committee, which is already shaping up to be a place where I can do further good with the experience I've gained over my life before politics. To conclude, I commend the Prime Minister and the Government for its focus on assisting veterans transitioning. I welcome the support of the Governor of WA for launching the R&R Transition Centre. I thank my colleague, the member for Canning, for his support and I look forward to continue advocating for veterans and the roles they play in broader society.
The question is that the House do now adjourn, and I